GSL group. We'll see what their plans become as we get into it. Maru is going to be our blue Terran play here in the StarsWar qualifier. Classic is our red Protoss. Maru lower left, Classic upper right. We got this best of 3 underway. Winners bracket, so winner of this is qualified for that StarsWar 11 event, which is happening May 18th and 19th in China. So that is an offline tournament. So the player who wins this year will have to travel out to that. And yeah. And lineup for that event starting to look very good. Can Classic book his ticket as Gumiho did earlier? As Gumiho won out one of the earlier series today to qualify himself through as well. Let's see Gumiho continue to do well in qualifying for things. It's nice to see. Well, again, Rex and the gas coming up. We got ourselves established here. Gate and the assimilator coming about as well. And yeah, we just ended up with a crazy ending to that previous PvT between Stats and Cure. Who knew that many carriers could be so good? Just gonna drop the cyber core down. Barracks is still coming up here as well, so we just get the Reaper on the way. No surprises, first few minutes. We're gonna see an expansion from both players. It seems nothing too aggressive. Not even an early factory from Maru or anything, so this really is just as standard gets for the first few minutes here. And we'll go from there. See on that Reaper coming about, Cybercore and the Nexus continue to come through as well. I see another assimilator coming about also. And again, the Nexus just coming online. Getting our Adept going, the Warp Gate coming through. A little bit of everything here. Getting settled just for the moment. Continues to make a move. Obviously, we'll be looking for the scout information throughout these early stages. Would love to just confirm and check everything that is going on here in these early minutes. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to continue to keep a little bit of a lookout for. Harston with the 99-month resub, almost 100. Wow, you're going to keep it on for another month and go to 100? What a cool dude. Thank you so much, mate. As we have ourselves the LCC reactor, Hellion coming through, Stargate, Stalk on the other side. Stargate, no surprise at all. Safe, standard way to get set up into the mid stages of the game is always a good thing. So just going to get ourselves set up towards that ASAP. And otherwise, yeah, just kind of progressing on forwards as we get this all settled in. Just going to be seeing our factory, building up a Widow Mine. The Starport is on the way up as well, so we continue to bring that through just for the moment. Purple facility will drop down. The Phoenix is already producing through. The Warp Gate coming up on that Cybercore, and again, Hellion and the Reaper is starting to move across to the other side of the map as well, so continue to move out there. The Adept and the Stalk continue to chase. The Hellion will go down. That will be a grab. And this Reaper still trying to also just find ways, directions, positions to get information in. Just trying to find as much as it possibly can here for these early moments. Otherwise, there's a Robo facility coming up and Phoenix production continuing. I mean, again, looks as though Classic is going to play into Phoenix Colossus for the early stages. Hey, what's up, Captain Damage? Thank you so much for the ST community. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime Mate. Thank you again for supporting the channel. Widow Mines are setting up. Maru trying to be defensive against these first Phoenix coming in, trying to get an early catch, deplete some of those health bars. Phoenix going to go back up to the top, and we do have again Viking, Marines all on the way out. SCVs and barracks continue to come through. Phoenix still chilling on the far left. Obviously, with this setup from Classic, you don't really expect him to be getting too aggressive or anything in these early stages of the game, so definitely expecting him to be playing a little bit of a slower opening here. And just kind of expect him to be sitting back and kind of waiting for Maru to deal any damage if anyone is going to come through and do anything. it should kind of perhaps be Maru, but obviously it's a very defensive setup from the Protoss, so that doesn't usually encourage the Terran to attack either. And we know that Maru is extremely comfortable sitting into those later stages of the games as well. Let's just keep on splitting about as we do have our 1-1 upgrades on those engineering bays still coming through. The refineries are still building. I think we get ourselves settled. Again, the Stalkers, the Colossus, join up on the 3rd base. Sit out over here for the moment. One more barracks coming through. The 1-1 upgrades and the stim pack will continue to build as well. And again, once those upgrades start kicking in, you'll see likely an even more aggressive Maru. He pushes forward right now, but considering this is mostly Marines, I can't imagine this is anything more than a little bit of fake pressure. You know, without stim, heading into Colossus is just a suicide note being written. So unfortunately, don't think we're going to see Maru attacking right here. This is just going to be classic staying safe for the moment. However, if Maru is in position when his upgrades do finish already, then maybe he can immediately leap onto those upgrades and make use of them. So that might be the approach he takes instead. What do I mind? It's just going to get picked off by the Colossi there. And Maru just trying to find positions, ways forward, but there's not going to be anything there. Stargate and a fleet beacon, so we are going to go into the air unit tech already. We are going to make an investment on that one. Just going to mix it up a little bit here. As you see the call, Phoenix going to find the Raven, very much so on its own. It's going to go down, drop some order turrets, will kill a Phoenix. So get something in return, but that is at least the spellcasting of the Raven now going to be denied. Hallucination still firing away, a couple more shots coming out. It's going to be more carriers on the way up, so we are going to see Classic heading into those carriers, happy to enter those later stages of the game. Very much so just saying that I have a lot of bases on this map I can defend, I can sit back, take those bases and play with them. And that's exactly the plan for these early stages. So that's exactly what we're going to be seeing for the moment. Looks like I'm shooting. Just going to laser down a single Marine. That force field dropped into place for a couple moments as well. Coming around, Viking already firing up a little bit. Just going to be seeing the Colossus still taking some damage. And see a Zealots or two getting picked away at as well. We continue to chase forward with this Bio Army. It's going to be seeing that Colossus still taking some shots. Actually going to lose one of the Colossus. I mean, that maybe gives you more potential push in on the ground here as Maru, right? Because now your opponent's going to be a little bit less set up defensively. See, he's going to start stemming up here. This is the kind of scary timing for Classic where he's only just gotten his first 2 carriers. So he's basically at the maximum weakness of this army, but his investment is at the most without really seeing any results from it. And you are seeing the problem is the ground army just goes down. The second Colossus obviously fell a long time ago now, and that carrier here is going to continue to take some shots as well. We might actually run out of anti-air. There's a single Viking currently chasing it. It gets to a battery that should keep the carrier alive. But obviously losing the 3rd base is pretty devastating. That's going to have a knock-on effect of most likely another base beyond there as well. And Maru looking as though he's going to break Classic down in the early stages. We dive to the right-hand side. We're going to pick off this Nexus also. So that's going to be a location we get to break through to. Again, this just turns into more and more of an advantage, a better and better situation through and through right now. The Bio's still coming back around. We move back around the right-hand side. The Medevac's going to rejoin together. 2-2 is about to finish on the side of Maru. Chip weapons coming up as well, so we continue to get that on the go. Go back to the upper right. Again, just going to get settled here. Classic going to try and play the survival game, but hard to imagine a world where Maru doesn't find some kind of a big attack in the fairly near future just to get this job done, right? I mean, he's knocked down so much of the Protoss tech already. You're going to slow them down. I mean, this is really, carriers are the only scary part of this. There's actually not even anything that really deals with a ground army right now. There's no splash damage, and That means the bio will just stim through, succeed. Maru takes game number 1 off. Let's see if Classic can find himself something to grip onto here against Maru. Or if Maru is just going to be a step too far. USCT 2 for the 55-month resub. How's the first game? Yeah, Maru honestly just kind of killed him, to be honest. Not really much else to say to that other than Maru just kind of showed up and killed the guy, so... Not a great one. Classic TLDR just tried to go into carriers quickly, and Maru hit at that time where the first 2 carriers pop. You still invested so much into going Stargate, and 2 carriers don't really hold that own, right? Probe shows up. We are going to see the SCV get nibbled, the barracks on the way. Obviously, Classic with a super early probe across the map just wants full information, wants to know that this is not a proxy straight away, right? So immediately trying to find out, like, hey, is it this? Is it that? These are questions you can start kind of crossing off your list already. So now you know, okay, this is a, this is not a proxy. Don't have to worry about that. So now that's, one less thing to worry about here. So again, just going to really try and sit with this scout and information and roll with that. Bro, just being annoying, man. This barracks will get to finish, but a couple of SCVs are low HP and pushed away, so again, definitely has been a little bit of an annoyance in those early stages, putting some pressure in, putting some damage out. And the probe coming through the center when you have Reaper still building. Command Center, SCV, all that continues up as well. Continue to bring that in as yo, Mark BT. Gonna one-up the 99-month resub at Harston and come in for the 100-month resub. 100. How about that, guys? Boom. 100-month resub. Appreciate it, mate. In a row as well. Never letting that slip. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing great. So good to see your name in chat all these years later. I remember Joe was a big fan of when was it was like the it was like Go for SC2 like America version. It was like an ESL America Cup or something. I feel like you were always there for, and like I want to say it was like maybe Sunday night or something. Yeah. Thanks so much for 100 months, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. As Reaper comes around, that's it. Yeah, it was like the Sunday night like ESL America's Cup. We did some, we had some crazy, I will never forget, I think it was Semper versus Snoot finals. It was like, literally like a 45-minute plus game number 1. It was like a best of 7. It went to like all 7 games. I was like, oh my god. I think Snoot was thinking the same thing as me. He was like, oh my god, can we please just go to bed? It was like 3, 4 a.m. by the time we finished up. A couple of SCVs get taken down there. As the Adept gets in, Hellion has to play cleanup. So a little bit of damage is dealt there early on. A starport coming through from Maru will open the door towards some more pathways of aggression for himself, so if he wants to get aggressive, he perhaps can. That will become an option very shortly for Maru. So we'll keep an eye on if he does anything there. Hellion and the Reaper together, just trying to poke up, but the Stalker and Adept have the defense covered, so nothing to come of that. But just push it away. Defense is made. Well, Blink is on the way, so obviously a different stance altogether here from Classic here in round 2. Playing that Blink instead of that Stargate, just a very different approach. Again, not really too surprising. Not really too surprising at all. Ourselves the Raven, the Siege Tank continue to come online. We do have the Forge and the Charge as the next steps here from Classic, so we continue to bring that through just for a couple moments. Widow Mines will begin to unload. The Medevac is going to end up being shot down as well, so just going to get that picked off here. A couple of Widow Mine shots continue to come through. When Widow Mine gets taken out, it's going to be seeing the other getting cleaned out as well. The Stalker's able to play that cleanup for the moment. Raven finishing, +1 attack now on the way as well. We continue to bring that through for the moment. Stimpack also going to join in now. Again, a while until we get those upgrades finished. Let's go back the other side. Temple Archives is still coming through, just now getting itself on the way as well. So, again, both players just kind of taking their time to tech up here, making their tech choices, moving through smoothly for the moment, getting everything set up here for the early stages. Storm is going to hop up into the main. As we hop into this main base, he's going to be able to knock one depot down right from the very get-go. We're going to be seeing the react on the starport. Was in a little bit of trouble there as well. The Stalker's just playing that cleanup. More High Templar getting warped in here also. The Raven coming back through onto the natural. Not going to be able to find too much though. Stalker's playing a pretty good deflection. Able to save that from really doing much at all. So got that storm coming up. Again, the armor upgrade coming through as well. Nexus on the way up. Gateways are building. And a bit of everything just coming through for the moment. Getting everything settled here for a couple of moments. Again, medevac battalions continue to pull back over to the sides. You have the Stalkers coming about as well. Gonna be seeing the rest of the bio coming about. Stalker's still taking some damage. Taking a few more shots. So turret is going to get involved as well. Going to start firing up onto that Prism. Prism is going to take a lot of shots. Damage being done. Well, obviously not great because you kind of want this Prism to be able to come back and again and be that consistent kind of harassment output, but obviously not really quite happening there. Couple mules will drop down. And more medevacs is coming through the center. Rest of this bio coming across at the moment here. Maru's starting to get aggressive, but obviously very different style from Classic to the last game, so it's one of those scenarios where you don't really want to go running in as much this time as Maru, because that storm is definitely a little bit scary. There's enough High Templar up to justify it as well, so you're not just kind of praying for one shot to not go off or anything. As you see, a couple of additional structures coming down in the main base. Robo Bay, Robo Facility all coming out. Come in. Medevacs load up instantly. This is actually going to be bad for Maru if he loses that medevac. Full medevac goes down. Nice job with those Stalkers target firing that medevac in the front. I thought it was a mistake. I didn't think he was going to be able to keep in range. So now we have the Storms going to land on the SCVs. They escape away. Every SCV is going to go down to storm damage. 19 workers going down, and Classic is going to do enough to break through Maru right here, as Maru is going to get shut down completely. And Classic is looking to tie this series up 1-1 in the best of 3. How about that? Alright, we're going to have a series on our hands as, yeah, Maru is not looking too pretty right now. Ghost will be chilling out the front. We have got ourselves another storm coming down. This Bioforce will get turned away, so Bioforce getting turned back out of there. Just seeing ourselves +2 attack, +2 armor, extended thermal lance all coming about. Prism goes down, so there goes some of the mobility on the High Templar now taken away, so that will not be a factor anymore. So the scan comes out the far right hand side. Bio still pulling back once again as we just have another storm coming out there. His army being chased. I mean, again, Classic losing now big time as he gets chased. Running away as a Pro player is never really fun. And this is why the Terran can kind of chase and get a few kills on that chase down unless you have some amount of power to turn around and fight. There's a Colossus that is just out over on the far left side of the map. It's just chilling there. That's something you need to be pulling back right now. That's something you need to be resetting a little bit. Because this is not quite going the way of expectations. The last thing you want to be doing is giving up yourself, giving up another Colossus that doesn't need to go down. Again, someone like Maru, that's a way back into the game for him. So yeah, Classic just little things to sharpen up on here. One comes over to the right-hand side. Continue to press upwards, this army making a little bit of a stance. Little Storm going down on the Ghost. Storm all across the course of everything else as well. Storms continue to try and push in, and well, this is just Classic with Colossi that aren't really being hit by anything. So these Colossi, as long as they don't get target fired down by the bio, which is going to be tough with the Stalkers in front, Colossi should just be enough to kind of win this out. A couple of Vikings actually going to town on the Colossi, but I say going to town, they got rid of the first one or two, but not enough to get rid of everything in the end. The numbers were not really there. Classic maybe could have took that engagement select TV tournament, so we will do that. That's where we are at. Just in case you're wondering where that tournament is, it's coming. Don't worry, it's happening. It's just, like I say, prioritize finishing our coverage here for the moment. When I first scheduled this, there was only meant to be like a best of 5 and a best of 7 a day in this Korean event, and then they redid all these days. So the times are a little bit messed up in terms of how they match up and everything. So gets a little funky as we get into this. Next is in the upper right corner, boosting belongs to Classic. Of course, Ghost River, 6 base each map. It's an interesting one. This does feel compact. Feels quite easy to split. That's something to definitely keep our eyes on. As we get our gateway coming through, a couple of refineries coming up, the barracks coming in, the SCV getting settled. So far, so good. The early game. No proxies or anything, most notably. Obviously, we have proxies all the time in these matchups, even if it's just a little bit of an aggressive Reaper or so. So it is worth noting that that is the case here. Yeah, one of the little probes going to be coming across. Again, Reaper building up. Cybercore still coming through on the other side. People coming around. Reaper continues to produce. Again, Cybercore, Nexus, all of that on the way in. And the early few minutes really do just have a bit of a peaceful kind of air to them. Tech choices to be made, of course. Okay, just now spinning up Classic. What do we want to spend all of our gas on as we continue through this? I mean, a robo facility. I was going to say I was getting on a little bit to build the tech choice. Robo it is. So Robo coming down. Very different way to open. I mean, close by air maybe just feels that Robo harass could be quite good with the Prism early on. Maybe is a little bit afraid of the close by ground distance that this map provides as well. And so just says, cool, well, if I have a Robo, I can get an Immortal up. I can be very safe early on. Maybe that's something else that Classic is looking to prioritize here. If he gets taken out, the Adept is able to chase. And a couple Marines and a Cyclone continue to hang about a little bit as well. As that medevac comes online, we'll start to see some of that Maru harass. Currently just prioritizing observers. And those obs out. Again, some vision going. Looking to see what is around the map. And there's going to be the Twilight Council follow-up from that robot facility. So, going to move on from that. Along we go. Tech Lab coming up on the factory as well. Continue to bring that through. Still getting the Liberator going as we have ourselves the chance to really kind of build up this starport pressure. That's our army. Getting going, and here we go, this first push. This is kind of where I thought we would maybe see something unit-wise out of that robo facility to help Classic out, but we haven't seen that at all, which has me concerned. This third base will just not get a chance to build here. Obviously, there's too much pressure on it. We probably don't push into the natural, but 2 Cyclones in the main are annoying. No vision here either. No, Classic, everything is out of position. So he's going to lose multiple probes as these Cyclones first show up. It's going to be 5-6 workers going down immediately. It's a really good start for Maru, who already put some good damage out. Recognizing his opponent doesn't have a lot of units. He's going to have that Liberator pop in as well, so we'll see what he would like to do with that fairly shortly. Still seeing another Stalker continues to get warped in. We do have Immortal and Charge. Both of those continue in production. The Cyclone's dropping down, and a few more probes. They'll continue to drop down dead. That's 3 workers killed off so far. The Stalkers come across. The medevac gets chased away. And that medevac will not have much else to say for the moment. Just going to get pushed out of there for now. Marines in a lib. Still coming up. Tank as well. Also in production here. This army still settles in the center. Maru getting gathered up. They're trying to siege. Had to siege a little late here, so took a few shots. However, the Immortal goes down. With the Immortal going down so quickly, it's already a little rough. Just gonna see our Marines still trying to press forward. Also, just coming by for the moment. Apologies, guys. Just had a little cough I had to mute up for. But yeah, Maru continued to take good fights, obviously. Knocking them all down, just resetting the tech a little bit extra. All those wall gates still getting sold. And again, well, Classic trying to just get set up. I mean, the fact he still doesn't have a third base this deep in the game. I say it's deep, it's like 6.5 minutes, but usually a Pros is so well set up on a third base at this point in time. And that's the problem that you're really looking at here, is that Maru has really delayed that third while trading well in army as well. It's not like Maru gave up a chunk of army to deny the third base, so now you kind of have something to show for it as Classic. Everything's kind of gone against you thus far. Couple more Marines still chilling out over by the racks there. Gonna be seeing that Twilight Council getting the blink up and running as well. The armor upgrade still coming through. That Storm is still producing as well, so we continue to bring all of that in. Again, 1-1, Stim Pack, Combat Shield, everything being produced for the moment. Marines and tanks still gathering together. The Liberator is going to come join back up with everything else as well. So again, we get set back up over there. Still got that Storm over halfway done. Continuing to progress. As our units regather up on the front of the third base. So we get all those gates coming about. And that Storm really not far from finishing in the slightest, so get that Storm online. It's going to be another little bonus for us to work with here as well. Zealots wanted to try and slip through a little bit, but not really going to find too much of an opportunity. Again, Ghost, Marines, the Marauder, 1-1 upgrades and Combat Shield, but everything's still coming out here as Maru gets himself all the way onto the proper bio upgrade setup. Once those bio upgrades are done, you can only imagine that things are going to start looking even better again as you do feed back the Raven to start this one off, though. Storm now to kill a few SCVs. The Storm hitting the bio, honestly not bad. Going to recall the Liberator, the Prism out of there as the Liberator tries to chase, and, well, 18 SCVs going down. The Zealot's coming around the side, and Maru taking some serious damage. Classic. Took this rough start of the game and said, you know what, don't care. I'm still going to do some things here, and 19 workers killed is actually a pretty crazy bit of damage done. The Storms so far have just landed very well across bio units, across SCVs. They've been able to do a lot. And that is definitely having a pretty positive impact for our Protoss player, who now does have some low energy. High Templar getting caught, going to try and morph in. Is the problem still going to be the army? Army supply from Maru is still good. Can we get enough up here from Classic to fight this? Not completely convinced, honestly. But let's see. And for the moment, Maru will not break forwards. He's still equal on workers, which is still pretty good for a Terran as well. That's the thing. Despite all of this, it still feels as though Maru's in an alright position. It was just some hope that was given to us here by Classic compared to what we had going otherwise. Army continues to gather back up together. There's going to be seen a warping. That's going to be cancelled up. And, well, you got the Robobay and the Robo Facility coming through. We're attempting a tech here as Classic. We're trying to take further tech in this game. That's obviously something which is a cool idea, but is going to be difficult to execute on at the end of the day. That's something that's going to take a little bit of investing into. And Maru is already knocking on the door with an army that's not going to be dislodged as easily. With the tank count setting up, the pre-split coming down, it's going to be difficult for the Storms to be the answer to this. Obviously, this position is nice as well. You can utilize all of these rocks, kind of set the tanks up behind them, make it so tough for the Protoss player to come around and to engage into you. So that's going to be really, really tough. As you just see the bio eventually working its way to the high ground. And then again, just kind of takes this step by step. Widowmine's getting a shot off, softening up a bunch of the Zealots, which are going to go down. If you lose that front line, then Classic is just in even more trouble. And Archon being shot at as well is also going to get knocked down here. I mean, these Immortals are the only real tech standing. There's a Colossus on the way over, as you can see. It's just trying to get over here in time to help out, but it ain't looking like it's going to be enough as, yeah, Maru up now 60 supply. And unfortunately, Classic putting up a fight. Just not a good enough fight. This one is going to be coming to a close here. And as Maru knocks down the third base again, that really would just be the game-deciding move. The one to really knock the nails into the coffin and put it underground as Maru gets the Colossus, gets everything. Classic just does not have enough. To be fair, valiant effort because it really looked like he was not going to be in any sort of a position.